Yeah, actually, we were talking about this before the show. The Oscars was just on recently, and we were commenting on how, you kind of set an example when you wear some of those revealing dresses that they're wearing now. Oh my goodness gracious. Right. Tip down way below and in the front as well.
Right. Well, see, here's the thing.
Things falling out all over the place.
Right. What you're talking about there with the Oscars, that's like the least of your worries, That's the least of your worries.
True, but it's like the most widely,
right.
A lot of people watch it.
Right, a lot of people watch it.
Example.
Right, but, I just say, in general, we're creating a culture where, these kids are you've got girls that, their goal when they grow up is to be on Girls Gone Wild. I remember when that underage girl jumped on stage at a concert and started dancing. It was with, I believe it was with Akon, and it was a big thing, and it turned out the girl wasn't old enough to be there. She was like a junior high, a high school girl or something. And, they went to her MySpace page and said, what do you want to be when you grow up? What would most girls say? There's a million things. Her goal when she grew up was to be on Girls Gone Wild. That's the culture, so...
Do you think it's starting younger and younger, now that you mentioned that?
Well,
do you
definitely.
think the girls are 12, 13, 14, as opposed to 17, 18, 19? With how they're dressing and
Candida,
drugs?
I can sit here and I'm going to spare you the pain. I can tell you stories.
Well, you have open air.
I can tell you stories with girls as young as 3 years old.
Come on. Really?
Yeah. I decided I'm not going to tell the story anymore because I've told it so many times I don't want to get anyone in trouble. I can tell you severe stories of 3-year-olds acting out because they saw stuff on TV.
Right.
I'd really rather not get into it. I told the story last night at the show, and I'm kind of at the point I don't really want to get into it anymore. But
you do. You get really emotional.
Right. It's not that. It's just people tell me stories, and a lot of times I run it by them and ask them if I can use it, and they're okay with it. But sometimes you got to respect that, people are really going through some of this stuff, and I got to lay low. You got to remember, it's girls, very young girls. Okay, let me give you an example we have talked about. You can go, like we talked about last time, the thongs. You can go get a thong for an 8-year-old. There were 8-year-old girls that, the time when, I believe it was, I want to say it was Abercrombie and Fitch, had that line of thongs for 5-year-old girls or whatever.
That.
And on the thong it said eye candy. It said stuff on the,
this is geared towards younger
right,
kids.
so little girls could wear thongs.
And that's what frustrates you.
Right, this is the culture now. There are little girls now that they just, you live in a culture now where it's they're just not, I know so many people that have kids and they just marriage is whatever now. Do whatever. If you're drinking.
So what could you give? What are the tips you could give some parents before the end of the show? Anything solid that they could start paying attention to?
Don't smoke weed in front of your kids, right?
Does that happen a lot?
Oh yeah, you kidding me?
Yeah.
don't bum cigarettes off your kids. There's all these things that people just think are no big deal. I've seen parents kind of they knew their kid was in a bedroom with a girl and they're just kind of giggling. It's oh, boys will be boys. Everyone's just kind of giggling. Oh, so what? Miley Cyrus is doing a stripper dance on the Teen Kids Awards, and my 5-year-old's watching it. And now she's trying to do the same dance on a pole in the house or whatever. And no one cares. That goes on all the time.
It looks like setting standards is really what
we're hyperanalyze what your kids are doing. You have to. And you know what, Candida? I get so much thrown at me about, well, you know what? It's the parents' fault. It's not. These people on TV aren't the parents of your kids. No, you're right. They're not. But
you have to monitor.
Shut the TV off. Right. Fine. You can't watch this show. Big deal. They go to a store. You ever seen where they go to 10 different convenience stores? Mm-hmm. Okay, 9 out of those 10 convenience stores. You know where Maxim magazine is? It's on the lower corner of the floor, right in front of the eyes of the little kids. You go to the grocery store.
What is that?
And
Maxim magazine.
Oh, just the men's magazines with the girls and the lingerie and the covers and all that.
Gotcha.
Look at how
You're
guys.
Educating me here.
Look at what guys do. You got guys who mindlessly. It's look how popular Spike TV is. Look what their website is.
What's Spike TV?
Spike TV. It's one of the biggest cable stations in the country. Okay. It's geared towards men. It's guys TV for guys. Go to their website, there's an icon that says girls. You click on it, all it is girls in lingerie. Many times in pigtails, trying to look like they're young. So how many guys go to that website, look at that, and they don't equate that to the fact that That's a culture that is enveloping the same world that their little kids are in.
Gotcha.
Like, you can shut that. Go ahead, shut
So
all.
parental controls
Right,
on computers? Is
throw
that
the
another thing
TVs
they
out the
can do?
window. Throw the computers out the window. Your 5th grade is still going to go to school and hear about it.
So you're
Get what I'm
saying do
saying?
parental controls and stuff like that?
I'm saying, be aware that
Anyway.
my actions affect your kids.
That's why it's always good to have
Do
you
you
on
get
the
what
show.
I'm
'cause
saying? Right.
This
Candy,
stuff
the
I don't even
actions
know
that
about
I'm
that you're
taking right
telling
now,
me.
I've never met your kids before. I'm doing things right now that are going to affect your kids.
Thank you.
You're doing things
I appreciate that.
you're doing things that are going to affect my kids. I don't have kids, but if I ever do, things that you're doing, things that a guy down the street are doing, we all share this. It takes a village to raise the kid. You know what I mean?
There you go.
People have no concept
Well
of
said.
energy directed between each other and cause and effect of their actions. You know.
Excellent. Dan, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you very much for all your help.
I'll give you the radio airwaves to voice what you have to do. It's www.myspace.com/the Outlook website. Check it out. Also, www.facebook.com/outlook-Massachusetts. And thank you so much
Thank
for
you
being
very
on the
much.
show. All right, Dan.
All right.
Have a good one.
Bye.